Hi, everybody. It's good to see you all again. My name is Barbara Scowcroft, and I am a member of the Grand Teton Music Festival Orchestra in the summers. It's been about 20 summers for me, and I'll really miss it this summer, but I hear there's some pretty cool things that are going to happen anyway, so no worries. Today we have a half hour of pretty great stuff from Wyoming, and really excited about this. We have 5 players and who are going to play for you, and then we're going to listen and comment and learn from them and toss around ideas and try to just be supportive of one another to further our journey in this incredible musical world. So, like I said, I'm from actually Utah. I'm in Salt Lake City right now. The air has been cleaner than it's ever been in its life because no one was driving for a while, which was awesome. I play violin in the Utah Symphony. I also conduct, which is great joy and love for me, 2 youth orchestras here, the Utah Youth Symphonies. One's, we call one the Philharmonic and one the Symphony, and they're equal ability, high school aged orchestras, and that is a great, great love for me. And I also do this and that around, try to be helpful to friends and neighbors, especially now, as I'm sure you are. Happy to be healthy, and I'm glad to see you're all healthy and shiny. So let's start. Brennan from Star Valley will be first, and it would be great if you would introduce yourself and tell us what you will play.
My name is Brennan Opitz. I'm junior at Star Valley High School, and I'm going to be playing Bach Cello Suite No. 2, All Along. And am I good to start? Okay. That's it.
Great. Beautiful. It was really beautiful. So a couple of things. What when you play this, what are you most looking forward to presenting to the audience in this? What is the thing that touches you most that you can't wait? You just can't wait to play for everybody.
Are you referring to a spot in the music?
Yeah. You have a particular area or spot, or what is or the whole presentation?
Well, this is kind of at the beginning, but the spot where, is it like an ad-lib where I speed up and there's some 30-second notes, and that's like a really cool spot to build up to.
So that is a riff that feels good to you, right? That's like a riff that feels good. It feels free and wonderful, right? Would you play that? Just play that favorite spot.
Okay.
Right, and it's beautiful. So you were free, you were open. So play the first chord again with that same anticipation of that freedom. Nice. I loved that one. So put in your physical being that same abandon when you start, because the first chords are always crazy. I mean, the violin rep has those too, and it's like the first chord. It's like the first chord. So you want to, and also have you tried practicing the first chord up bow?
The what?
The first chord.
No, I haven't.
So try up bow. Okay, now really get to the tip and feel your arm. Really breathe and relax.
Okay.
I know it's weird. I definitely know it's weird. So. Right. So I want you to feel the lowest string to the highest string. Just basically what this is for ambidextrous connection to you and your bow. So we're gonna hear another Bach today also, so the suggestion for both of you is to practice Bach with opposite bow. So you practice this whole thing using complete opposite bow, and what that does is it makes your brain develop into resonance with the possibilities of your bow use, which is really helpful and very cool. You sound wonderful. And one other suggestion, and I know over the internet it's a little weird, but on the bass notes, when you start, Bach, he sets a bass note sometimes at the beginning or the middle of the bar, right? And make sure you vibrate on those single bass notes. So again, our ear can hear and remember that note and resonate upward from it, from everything that comes out of that. And it's part of the tonality too, right?
Yeah.
So so find one of those. I think in the second half there was one in the first measure, I think. One of the low notes that you could really vibrate on. Right. So get some warmth on it, a little more depth to the string. But yeah, I love that. I love that. You got such a gorgeous sound, and it's so cool. I mean, the cello. The great Lynn Harrell, who unfortunately just passed away. He was at GTMF several years. Oh my gosh! But he was the great vocalist, I think, of stringed players. And because his dad was a tenor, and it was all about vocal resonance. And boy, when you think about that, it makes a huge difference, and you're playing. You sound fantastic. I guess we should move on. I hate to say goodbye, but thank you. Okay, awesome. Let's see, who's next? Wait. Where's my number 2? Amory, right? So, hi. Introduce us again.
Okay, I'm Amory Crook, and I will be playing the Romance from Wieniawski's Second Concerto.
Awesome. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Beautiful playing. It's so nice to hear you. How do your hands feel these days?
They're pretty good. They're
Good.
getting better, so that's good at least.
Great. So for all the string players out there, how many people actually stretch hands? Do little like finger stretches and hand stretches? So those of you who I can see, raise your hand if you do. Yeah, you do. So all of you guys do. Oh, you're that's good. So it's really helpful to actually do that starting now. And so just even you guys listening, you know, in Driggs and wherever you guys are, just do some right now. Do some get your hands, get to know your hands, because sometimes there's something you don't even know if you've been playing with your dog or you've been cooking or gardening or vacuuming. I don't know, or your mom and dad are making you work now. I'm kidding. You're going to be using your hands differently, and just getting the tendons and the muscles all warm. It is really it's really helpful, because we are about our hands and our fingers, right? String players. This is where the action happens, because unlike the winds and brass, we're not using our breath through the instrument. So we have to use our breath through our fingers, I think. So start again, and I want you to think about the bow changes. So remember the fingers, the paintbrush, the colors, because sometimes your beautiful sound is decaying a little bit right before the bow change.
All right.
Okay, so do that again, and again, let's do the backwards bow thing. Start completely opposite. Okay, so in those few notes, where do you want crescendos? Where do you want decrescendos? And where do you want the line to go?
So right in the first measure that I played, the line has a big crescendo on it that leads right into the molto sonore.
Okay, play that again, and let us absolutely know that that's for sure.
Okay.
And color your vibrato also. Try to think of the vibrato. I don't know, not necessarily intensifying, but coloring with the crescendo.
Should I do it with the backward bow still?
Do it the right up bow. Okay, so da-ya-dum, that's the top of the crescendo, right?
Yeah.
Did you hear a decrescendo when you went to the tip?
Yeah.
Okay, so take the note of your down bow, and try right now, just play that single note and try to make a crescendo on it. Good. Now go to the tip and go da-dim, da-yum, and just kind of iron it out in the crescendo. Da-yum. So you'll pronate, right? The technique, you'll pronate more, right? And then make sure your shoulders dropped and the connection is really, really, really smooth. It sounds great. Yeah, so do that like 4 times in a row. Just nice. And are you thinking so? And I can't see your right hand, but it's pliable? Does it feel nice and extending and pulling back in? Make sure that this is kind of our cushion, right? Again, it's all about the fingers. It sounds so beautiful. And so now I feel like there's more of a build, and that's the whole reason of backwards bowing or making sure that the audience isn't thinking, oh, you're on a down bow, so you're going to make a decrescendo. Okay. And then just I think with the intensity of the vibrato also can really and make sure are you feeling quite relaxed when you well grounded when you vibrate, so there's nothing stuck.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Yeah, so. Good. So do the shift again. Do the shift. Let's see that connection, and then maybe your time might be over. This
Okay,
is nice
so-
and fast. I can't believe it.
Sorry, you're cutting out. So right where we were working out again?
The shift.
All right.
Do it again.
Okay.
Good. So the shift, are you syncing? Are you really synchronizing dee da yum, dee da yum? Do you feel connected and smooth, or do you feel like you're having to kind of make a little break, a little hitch, a little lifting up? Can you feel more riding into the fingerboard?
Okay.
Not grinding into the fingerboard, but just the fluidity, again, like a breath.
Okay, fluid.
And remember with shifts, right? You
Yeah.
think of leaving a little bit early, right? You know where you're going. You leave a little bit early so you're not late. But it's all about the breath of fluidity. Yeah.
Okay.
So beautiful, beautiful. That seemed really smooth and lovely, just like a singer. You sound wonderful. So I'm just make sure keep your hands loose and working and feeling very even when you're vibrating. I think kind of balancing to the big part of your hand here is good for any kind of, think about the strength here that can help, especially little finger. Does that make sense? Then the balance is cool. Okay, great job.
Thank you.
Great to see you, yeah, okay. So these guys are so great for playing, right? I mean, everyone deserves giant roaring applause. Third, wait, yes, Rachel.
Hi, my name is Rachel Merchant. I go to Kelly Walsh High School in Casper, Wyoming. I'm a junior, and I will be playing Bach Sonata Number 2, Allegro.
Fantastic. That was so amazing. Thank you for preparing that. It's absolutely, it was great. Beautiful. Thank you for preparing that whole thing. That was amazing. So I'll just ask you the Bach question that I asked Brennan. Have you practiced that backwards bowing?
No.
Okay, it would be really fun for you to discover that. You have such a great take on it. It is so joyful. I just heard happiness coming out of you, and I love the tempo, and it's skipping along, and it's really giving us what I think Bach intended. So fantastic on that. So think about there are countless ways to practice unaccompanied Bach. So can you share with us maybe 3 ways or 2 ways that in your practice of this that have really helped enlighten you to what it means to you? And tell us what it means to you. Talk to us a little bit, maybe about from your perspective about the key, or what color, if you name a color of the rainbow, what color is this for you?
Probably a yellow or an orange, something like that. Something that's very, very bright, very cheery. It's got the phrasing in it is what really kind of helped me connect to it. Being there's a bunch of repeated phrases that have the different dynamics, and there's phrases that you can build on, and
So you like the Bach has a tool that he uses, the echo effect. You know, the echo effect. Right? So those are very fun to play. Those are fun to play on. Have you practiced, say, look at, actually, when I just right before we started this meeting, I found out you were playing this, so I pulled up my part. Do you practice the largest intervals, like on the first bar? Do you ever practice just the A to the E?
no.
And then do you practice connecting the 4th 16th to the 1st of the next?
Yes, I do that.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So you want to, and then do you practice, look at the second measure. Do you practice just the octave, or just say the A and then the E octave? So play that for us. The A and then the E octave. Right. So yum bum. So do it in tempo. Yum bum da yum bum. So isn't it you make sure you're doing the bowing though, so it's down, up, right? Right. So how do you want to present that E? I think from seeing your hand, I think that E could sound more solid and more in tune.
Okay.
And always. So in the second part also, I don't know if you have measure numbers.
Yeah.
So bar 44. It's that same E. You've got a great E finger. Your little finger looks very strong, but it's just that resonance is a little bit out of tune sometimes, which is some of the, when you're in A minor, that's the dominant, and so you want to make sure that that's very in tune. Also, if you don't, it's really great to analyze theoretically, like what key it's in and what the dominant is, and then some leading tones. But if you're not there yet, you can use your ear. So oftentimes the accidentals, the half-step accidentals will be going to a dominant or a tonic or a dominant of a dominant. But the accidentals in this piece are giving that pop of color and giving that extra lift of energy. So you really want to make sure that those are consistently in tune. And so you could even go through and just kind of play all of those alone. I mean, there's so many ways to practice Bach. it's an endless journey, and that's what keeps us so interested, because it's never perfect. That would be weird. We'd sound like a computer. And it's never boring, because we get to discover. So I think those, okay, so look at bar 43 again, and play for us the biggest leaps. So the E to the C, and then the F to the G. The E. Yeah, do it again. Now just play the E and the C. Thump bump. Right. How comfortable are you?
That one's not bad.
Yeah, good. So make sure that thump bump, because then it won't sound rushed either. It won't. So sometimes in these fast Bach unaccompanied movements, there's so much going on that it can sound like we're kind of stepping on our own toe to get it done. And I think we can breathe more. Not toying with the tempo, just breathing, just the idea of breathing more. Now play the middle of the bar, the F to the open G. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Okay, so make sure that if you're lifting your bow, you're going to lift your bow. If you're going to keep it on the string, you're going to keep it on the string. That's why those connections are really interesting and good. So just do it again. Yeah, I mean, practice it on, practice it off. Also, practice it. You're playing kind of at the lower half of the. You're playing. Are you trying to play in the middle, or where's your intention of actually playing?
Probably towards the close to the middle.
Close to the middle. That sounds pretty good. It sounds really good. And just make sure that it's comfortable with all the, with the string crossings and stuff. Also, you can go through and just practice the string crossings. You've got a lot of GDA string crossings, like ba-da-dum, ba-ya-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. So just take and play for us so we can hear that harmonic, the harmonies. Play bar 43, starting at 43, and just play the third, you can see with your eye, the third beat, and then the second beat in the next bar, the first beat in the next bar, and the first beat in the next bar.
Okay.
And then the next one. Right. So that D sharp, you're wanting to make sure it's very, very in tune with the A, because it's pulling our ear to the E, which is again that dominant. That it's kind of a second home sort of. We're trying to pull. So those are ways. Anyone who's playing Bach, any pattern you have, it's really fun to isolate the patterns, measure by measure by measure, and you can hear huge arc of tonality. And where he's going, where is he going? He's spinning us off into some chromatic wonderland, right? And it's really fun. It's really, really fun to hear that. Great job. Just great job. Wait, do you have a favorite part of it? The whole thing?
Yeah.
It sounded like the whole thing was your favorite part, which is exactly why people want to hear you play. It's the joy that you have, the joy that all of you have. Great job. Wonderful, wonderful. So good to hear you. Okay, awesome. This is so fun. Yeah, so Diesel from Pinedale.
Yeah, I'm in 6th grade at Pinedale Middle School. And the piece I'm playing, I learned from my violin teacher, and I memorized it a long time ago, and I forgot the name of the music.
No problem.
Here it is.
was awesome. So we've got a lot of there are a lot of different bow. There are like 3 different bow strokes, sort of, right?
Yeah.
So start again and just play just the double stop section.
Okay.
Okay. Good. And you want that to be, what is your concept of that? Do you want that to be grabbing everyone's attention and very, very open strings and kind of like an invitation to a party?
Yeah, just throwing it out.
Awesome. You did that. That was great. Now play the next, can you jump to the next section?
Okay.
Okay, try, not that you're gonna perform it like this, but just try for fun to toss it around to make it a little different in your head. Try that little section a little shorter bow, a little poppier, a little more like popcorn. Bop, bop, beep, bop, a little more sassy.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can really have fun. Ya da da da. I like that. It adds a little bit of variety from the opening chords.
Yeah.
Now continue on.
Okay.
Keep going. Okay, so that's going to be your, now you've gotten our attention with the first time that happened. You got our attention, and now we really were there to really say, that is cool. Those double stops are cool. Okay, now go on to the next little part. Great, so basically it's a repeat of what you had. Now we come to a new section, right? Okay, go for it. Okay, and continue. Okay, so that is the first new material, right?
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Now, can you make that slide just a little slower so we really can? Maybe it's just over the internet. I would love to hear more of that bending of the pitch.
Okay.
Can you do that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And make sure the da, play your D again. The da ya da. Yeah, play open D. Now play the high D. Can you play them together? Okay, does that sound in tune to you?
Not really.
Right, not really. So can you fix it? Yeah. So so the pad, does the pad of your finger feel a little sticky?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay, so what you can do is you can try to rebalance, maybe drop your shoulder, rebalance your chin a little bit, and that'll help unstick your pad. Because especially with those cool slides, you wanna really be like finger painting on the fingerboard. Okay? So it's like you're gonna make a big colorful mess. It's gonna be great. So try to make the D as, you've got great intonation. So you might as well play that D. You've got a good ear, you might as well use it, right? So play that high D without the sticky pad and a little bit more in tune. Yeah, you know what happens when you play in tune? The violin wood resonates and the whole violin sounds bigger. So it enhances, and in fact, you can almost sympathetically hear the low D. Because when you really, really play in tune, when you're playing on your own, watch the open D and you can see it vibrating a little bit. So we're all about resonance, us guys. Yeah, okay, good. So keep going from the dee da da dee dum. I love it.
Nice.
That's great.
Thank you.
Okay, sweet. This is going so fast. Okay, and then Madison, you're up.
Hello. Yep, my name is Madison. I'm a graduate student and teaching assistant at the University of Wyoming. And today I'm going to play the Adagio di Molto from the Sibelius Violin Concerto.
Thank you. Should we stop there? Stop there. It was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for preparing that. So everyone who's watching this, let's talk about her beautiful hands. So the unstickiness, right? You saw that. So Diesel, you saw that left hand work going up on the G string, how beautifully unstuck it was. And the vibrato is really, it looks like your fingers are supporting one another, which is awesome. Really gorgeous. So what I would love to hear more of is your intention of the phrase. Like, what is the warmest note for you? What is the note that you want to break our heart with? And that's a whole conversation. We can talk about that in a second too. But and sustaining our thing about sustaining the line, making our bow really our breath. And so I am hearing in any I'm hearing a little diminuendo or losing the resonance on the bow changes. So there's a really crazy way you can practice this that will expose for you. I love kind of digging and uncovering and it just exposing the raw parts or the really difficult parts, because then your ear turns on and your brain turns on and you get ideas. Because let me tell you guys, for everybody who's listening, you are your best teacher. So we're here to put ideas in your mind and be your guide. And for every one of me you're going to hear, you're going to have ideas. And I think we're such, we grew up with schools of playing and schools of thought, and the schools are really great. They're the foundation, and they're tried and true technical, methods and the methodology of what's come before is just essential. But I think it's incumbent upon us to then take that and explode it and get our own ideas. I mean, you're a TA, so obviously you're learning so much as you teach, right? I mean, that's a huge gift to be able to teach, because your brain just explodes all the time. So for this piece, I would suggest something nuts, which is practice it like twice as slowly. Because then it's gonna be under the microscope, completely digitally, like nano, micro, and you're just gonna see and feel when the sound starts decaying and what happens with the bow change. Because you've got such a gorgeous sound and such a beautiful presence with the violin. Getting those little things discovered with you, I think you're going to be it's going to be greater and happier and everything like that. Like there was a D up bow down bow, and I've really heard a decay of sound and then the warmth stopped. And I'm pretty sure that wasn't your intention, because you play so beautifully. So also just also I heard it once with the down to the up also. So just take the beginning again and just play a little bit more, thinking about the offering and what notes you want to melt us with, and where you want the peak and where you want the ebb and where you want the forward and the bow changes. Yeah. Okay, good. Great. So that the B flat, ya. What kind of how do you want to place those two notes? What do you want to what is your intention for the resonance of those, the connection of those two notes?
So right now I'm kind of arriving at the E, similar to when there's a sforzando on a similar beat later in the passage, on an A to a G, and so I'm kind of hitting that E a little bit harder, I think, than the B, or leading the crescendo there instead of to the B, which is more of what's written.
Going to the B.
No, it's in part at least it's written to go to the B, but I'm prolonging it so it goes to the E instead. So yeah, more of what comes after it.
So I think you're, in doing that, I think you're the B, you've got such a big form on that. I would hang on to that for a minute more and think about the connection of that, because then it's a stunning movement from the B flat to the E.
Okay.
And then the very first two notes, play those again and see the connection. Okay, right there. What is the da da? Do you want a little space? Do you want a little decay? Do you want a flow in da yum or da da? Are you backing off or are you going forward?
Trying to go forward.
Okay, try that. So think about the speed of the bow, or the weight, the pace. Yeah. Right. And so that would be another spot where you could kind of iron it. Da yum ba dum ba dum. Just right now, why don't you just play that 4 times, and just whatever happens, and then pick the one you like best. Just start mid bow, start the middle of the bow, and just work to isolate the bow change. Yeah, so where do you want to be? How close to the tip do you want to be? What's the weight? Right? Rhetorical questions. And what I mean by isolating too is out of rhythm, just go da-yum, ba-yum, ba-yum, ba, just right there where you're gonna make the change. So really isolated. So get closer to the tip a little bit and just like 2 inches and 2 inches. Yeah. Yeah. I can feel it. Yeah, I can hear it and I can see it. Nice. So those are the kind of cool things that you can do. I mean, your love for playing, this will be so fun to just to ratchet it up because you've got so much, so you're so advanced, you know, it's so great you're there teaching too. So the last thing, why don't you tell all the people watching what you've done to create evenness in your left hand, if you think there's evenness in it actually. Evenness with your vibrato and smoothness with shifting.
Okay, I took a lot of influence from a lot of different recordings, especially like Hilary Hahn, who's known for her evenness and all that. And so I watched her recording, most recent recording of it, and tried to dissect what exactly she was doing. And then once I had roughly an idea of what she did, I started isolating spots that I knew would be problems in that area. So like the bigger shifts, which there are several of them in this passage. So the bigger shifts, and then passages that I knew would really need the vibrato to be ratcheted up a little bit more than what I would naturally do, especially when you're in the higher registers. It's so hard to get it to speak sometimes. So yeah, a lot of isolating and taking influence from better violinists.
Which is so beautiful. I mean, we've got like people all over the world can watch Hilary Hahn and learn. Learn from everyone. There's so many great violinists with just great ideas that they're putting on YouTube and stuff. It's pretty inspiring. So last thing, shifting or vibrating from one note to the other. What's your big key to keep the hand loose and to try to make it fluid like that?
The big thing for me, because I used to be really tense with vibrato.
Good, that's good news, you guys. She used to be tense.
The consciousness of knowing your tendency is to be tense. Because and then from there, I think doing slow work, it's always beneficial to go back and review just like rhythmic oscillations with vibrato, just going back and forth at like eighth notes or something. And then from there, once you develop comfort at the slower tempo, then making it a little bit faster and faster. At least how I fix my problem.
Do any of you ever practice, like, let's say you have a weak fourth finger. Do you ever practice vibrato with your third finger now to help support your fourth finger? That's a nice thing too. And then you can kind of lift up four. You got your third going great. Keep third going. Put down two. And even if you do twos. So, and for me, like I love what you said. I love what you said in the slowness in the eighth notes. It's awesome. And for me too, it's about comfort and hand balance. So those are that's just a lot of food for thought for you guys. Amazing. You're amazing. You're all amazing. Thank you so much. This has been great fun. I really appreciate, and everyone appreciates you spending the time to prepare for us. It was awesome. So keep cool, keep brave, keep fun, keep happy. Keep Wyoming. Idaho. Intermountain. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Thank you so much, Miss Barbara. Mrs. Barbara.
You're so welcome. You're welcome, and hey, hi all the teachers, Lisa and Mr. G and Julie and all you other guys. Yeah, thanks for your great work. You're all my idols. Yeah, I love you guys.